Okay, so this is Don with EverythingFandom.com talking about the new Star Wars movie, and I've had a very hard time making videos because it's hard talking to a camera and setting it all up and being happy. So right now it's kind of just a mess right now, but I figured I gotta make something because the stuff that's going on is okay. Anyway, the point is that I really needed something to get me going to make this video, and so on this article. i09 gizmodo.com, right? So anyway, we got this article. It says, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, Backlash is inevitable, according to Richard E. Grant. Now, first I thought Richard E. Grant, maybe he was like a writer for the website or something. But I mean, I know Richard Grant, or Richard E. Grant, from The Player back in 1992, one of my favorite movies of all time. And, he was excellent in that movie, and I thought he's been great since then. I've always thought he was a great actor. Apparently, he's somehow qualified to talk about Star Wars fans and how they're going to react. Because apparently he's in the new movie. I had no idea until I read this. But anyway, so let's see here. And the article itself was written by Germaine Lussier, or Lussier. I'm not sure exactly how to say it. I could look that up. I don't have time right now because I'm way too busy working. I got to go to work pretty soon. So anyway, okay, so this is very interesting. It says here, fans will be fighting over the rise of Skywalker like... Wait, it doesn't even continue. Where does that continue? There's like a little caption under this picture. It says, fans will be fighting over the rise of Skywalker like ... That's it. I'm not even sure what that means. The point is that, like The Last Jedi, it's so funny, because The Last Jedi, of course, the critics overwhelmingly liked it, and the fans overwhelmingly hated it. But of course, that's not how it was explained in the media. The media said the critics love it, the fans are divided, right? They're divided. No, they're not really divided, okay? They hated it. In fact, some fans were a little like, they didn't realize how bad it was when they first saw it, but then after they thought about it for a few days, they realized how horrible it was, especially certain elements. Anyway, the point is, it says here, we're now less than a week okay, hold on. We're now less than a week from Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, and two emotions seem to be dominating the conversation. Excitement, of course, right? Of course excitement. We're about to get a movie fans have waited years for. What, two years, I guess? I mean, two? I'm not sure what that means, years for. I have no idea, because this has nothing to do with the original movies. Force Awakens fans waited years for, 10 years, because it was the first new Star Wars movie in a long time. These new movies, though, don't really have anything to do with the old ones, so, and I'll get back to that in a second, even if you think that it has Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, yes, only to completely trash them. Anyway, so it says, but also fear, right? Excitement, because we're about to get a movie fans have waited years for, but also fear. Fear? Oh my god, I'm so scared. Right? What does that even mean? Fear of what will happen in the movie and how it may change the discourse. Wow, use a word like discourse in an article about a science fiction movie. That's pretty interesting. Obviously that invokes some sort of political connotations. Anyway, no matter how the story ends, though, it's important to remember that not everyone is going to be happy. Not by a long shot, right? People feel incredibly passionate and possessive about it. Rise of Skywalker star Richard E. Grant told i09 last week, I understand that because I have been a Star Wars fan since I was 20 years old in 1977, when I was a drama student. Now, by the way, it's very interesting he cites, the fact that he saw the movie when he was 20 years old in 1977. I don't know if that really counts him as being a fan. I'm not sure if he knows what fan means. Otherwise, he would be hating the new movies just as much as all the other fans. I think the fact that he saw the movie in 1977, like pretty much everyone else in the country and most of the world, does not count him as being a fan. Okay. So anyway, it says here, besides being a day one Star Wars fan, wow, okay, he's trying to really, hammer home his credibility there. Grant knows a little something about franchises. He's appeared on Doctor Who, Game of Thrones, and Downton Abbey, among others. Now with Star Wars, he expects people to be happy about the ending, but also ... not. Okay, so the funny thing about this is that, Doctor Who is a franchise. Game of Thrones is not really a franchise, just like you wouldn't call Lost a franchise. It is a genre, yes, it's a genre, fantasy genre television show. Okay, so I agree with that. Downton Abbey, I don't think, or no, sorry, Downton, everyone thinks it's downtown, but it's Downton, I'm not sure what that means exactly. I don't really care right now. I mean, I've heard it's a great show. I have nothing against it, but I'm just saying I don't know what that means. Anyway, the point is that inevitably there will be a Game of Thrones syndrome to Star Wars because you can't please everybody all of the time. Wow, okay. I mean, imagine if this had been said like about something like Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, or, oh, wait a minute, Avengers Endgame, like about, 6 months ago. Wow, no one was saying that, right? But, that makes no sense. I mean, all of these apologies and all of these defensive articles about Star Wars, it's like they know, I mean, it must be really bad. I mean, it must be really bad, okay? Okay, so the ending, what people want it to be and what it actually is, hopefully for the majority of the people seeing it, they will feel that they've had their wishes fulfilled. But inevitably there's going to be people that don't feel that way. And you can't anticipate that. Really? You can't anticipate that. The Russo brothers, when they made Endgame, okay, let me put it this way. Fans love Endgame. Okay, I've never met a single fan that didn't love Endgame, including at least 10 moments in the movie that were exhilarating and satisfying and just awesome. I mean, and I'm going to make another video about the 10 greatest moments in Avengers Endgame because, oh, those moments were just like, for fans, they were, I can't even tell you. And that was a movie 11 years in the making and 22 movies in the making. It needs no apologies. By the way, not to say that Infinity War and Endgame are perfect, because they're not, and there's certain issues that fans have with them, but those issues are not that big compared to what they accomplished and all the good stuff. Okay. So anyway, let's see here. It says, you have to do what is honest and true to you. That's an interesting comment, considering that what's honest and true to the filmmakers seems to be very, very off of what the fans expected and wanted. Now, the thing about it is that, frankly, here's what the fans feel. The fans don't care about the new movies at all anymore. They just consider them to be fan fiction, right? Because everything after, the first 6, now the new movies, they're not by Lucas. Not only are they not by Lucas, but back in 2015 when Force Awakens comes out, Lucas explains that he gave them ideas, right? He said, here's what Lucas said, I was working on 7, 8, and 9, I gave them ideas when they bought Lucasfilm from me, but they ignored all of them. They didn't do any of them. They didn't want any of them. So basically, he even called them white slavers. And I'm not sure anyone really knows what that means, but the point is that was, obviously Lucas was unhappy, and obviously they did not follow him at all, which makes all the new movies fan fiction at best. Me and my friends and anyone out there, any fans out there could make movies that are just as relevant as Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rogue One, Solo, all that stuff. So the point is that it's all fan fiction, and much of it goes against what Lucas said. Like Rogue One, I know people that like Rogue One, but Lucas said the reason why A New Hope started where it did is because that's the first time anything big happens and exciting. Well, then Rogue One doesn't make any sense because it's supposed to be that there's a lull leading up to what happens in A New Hope. The Resistance is kind of like hiding out on the run, not really doing much, and yet in Rogue One, it's huge. I mean, a lot of stuff happens in Rogue One, but that's not supposed to be the case. Only a fan would know that because it takes years of reading articles and watching interviews and learning about Star Wars to know all these things, like I do and like real fans do. Anyway, so it says here, and I think J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio have done that to the absolute ends of their ability. Be honest and true to themselves, I guess. I'm not sure how that matters, considering that they're not the creators of the franchise. And the way that they treated Han Solo and Luke was pretty damn insulting, okay? I mean, that's how you're going to kill two characters who were like leads of the original trilogy? You want a lesson on how to kill someone? How about Iron Man in Avengers Endgame? That's the way a hero dies, not the way Han and Luke did. You look at like The Dark Knight Rises, where Batman, well, he doesn't even die actually, but he could have died and it would have been okay because he died a hero's death. He closed up loose ends. He talked to Gordon. He set up Robin. It's like if he had died, it would have been okay as a hero's death. But you look at the crappy deaths, you could lump in Logan along with Han and Luke. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, okay. Of course, when Grant says Game of Thrones syndrome, He's referring to the fact... Wait, did I read the Game of Thrones syndrome? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, of course, when Grant says Game of Thrones syndrome, he's referring to the fact that many fans of the HBO hit series were severely let down by the final season of the show, a trend that feels fairly common in recent years. Very interesting, considering that I could name a whole bunch of... I could name movies and television shows in recent years where fans were not let down. Maybe it's because the times they were let down, the people that made the show made a bad show, right? They did something bad. Maybe it's not because fans somehow are unpleasable, right? That's what's being presented here. Fans are unpleasable. They're horrible. Oh, we can't deal with them. Man, how do you make them happy? You can't make them happy. Well, yes, you can make them happy. Avengers Endgame is proof of that. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King is proof of that. But I don't want to get too off topic. Okay, so the point is, it says here, a trend that feels fairly common in recent years, in large part, we think that's because of expectations versus reality. As fans sit around and stew over the next installment. I don't think I've ever sat around and stewed over anything. Anyway, I mean, movie and television-wise. Okay, so, what a weird, angric stew. I don't know. Alright, so anyway, it says here, decisions are made in their heads, consciously or unconsciously. Wow, they're attacking you. Even if you didn't consciously make that decision, you did it unconsciously, so you can't argue with me. Right? That's a way of saying they can't argue about what they want to see. And when those expectations aren't met, or in some cases completely obliterated, it's easy to be disappointed. It's human. In fact, the best course of action, though, is to realize the movie or show in your head isn't real, and figure out why the people behind the project didn't do that. Wow, you need to be critical of yourself if you're disappointed with a crappy movie or season finale of a TV show. You need to say, wait a minute, I have to be wrong. The people that made the show must be right. Let's see. Only in that understanding and acceptance can true satisfaction be found. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like you have to accept horrible, horrible art, and creators who didn't even make the characters coming in and ruining everything. You need acceptance to be satisfied, and then you'll be satisfied. Accept the garbage. Accept the insults. Accept the crap. Wow. I mean, just wow. Of course, part of this article is Richard E. Grant. Part of it is this Lussier person or whatever. Anyway, the point is, let's see. Hopefully, we'll all find a bit of that next week when Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker hits theaters. Wow. Wow. What a gigantic apology for a movie that apparently they know must suck. That's very interesting. Wow. I mean, just wow. You know what? I think this is enough for this video. I'm going to make a separate video addressing... this article is its own masterpiece of horrifying madness. So, yeah. Yeah, this is pretty scary. This is pretty scary on its own to fans. So, this has been Donald Hanson from EverythingFandom.com.